pop the champagne. Welcome back to Actually Aubrey, and it's Ready to Love, season 5, 6, 7, or 8, and we're in Potomac. We're in Potomac at the reunion part 2, and we've got lovely Keena. We've got Jeremy Speaks, and we've got live and in person. We've got Alex W. Leath,
the one and only. Oh my God! Let's go!
A little applause.
Yeah,
there.
let's go.
Wow. I don't know where to start, guys.
Me neither.
Well, you know what, Aubrey? We got a lot to cover, obviously.
Yes,
we got to cover why Precious went from 0 to 100 in 3 seconds.
I got that down here. It comes up a little later.
We got to cover. Hold on, Jeremy. Real quick.
Hold on, Jeremy.
We got to cover, why the kid didn't get her courtesy as she deserved.
Who didn't get their courtesy? Who?
The kid didn't get the courtesy she deserved from Clifton.
Oh, yeah. Okay, because I was okay. Yes.
And we got to discuss that too. And we got to discuss. I can't remember who this was, but somebody been stalking Wiley's stories. Who was that stalking Wiley's story?
Somebody flipped it.
Yeah, we got to get into it.
Yeah, who was stalking his stories on IG Live? Okay, or IG, huh?
Can you imagine me stalking someone's story? Like, come on, baby boy. Like,
especially Wiley of all people. Okay. All right. Hello.
but we're gonna get into it.
Wow.
So, Aubrey, where you want to start?
Okay, I want to start with the Laverne and Ace situation, because we come back on part 2 and they're still talking about Laverne and the Ace situation.
You heard her sing, "Help me, Jesus."
Yeah.
I love it when she does that. Why does she always do that singing thing? I'm like, oh, I didn't know she had a voice. Okay, all right. But I just thought it was really interesting, Carmen's alleged role in this whole thing. So, Jeremy, do you have any thoughts about what was going on? What supposedly Ace told Laverne about Precious and about Carmen, and why he put all the blame on Precious when it seemed like she was really saying Carmen was the one that was trying to break everybody up.
Yeah, like I really did think that based on last episode, I thought that it would be like Laverne. I was believing because Precious was seeming like real turned up, but after this episode, I kind of understood why, because a lot of people were trying it on her time. So I think that Ace had called Laverne and told him that Precious had alerted her that they were setting him up for elimination because they were ready for him to go, and him just being messy and irate and possibly not liking Sabrina like the rest of America. He kind of mixed that all in together and dragged her into it as well. Now, I'm just gonna be real. Mm-hmm. Like a lot of these men, like on this season, it really seems like they have like real messy and sassy and zesty tendencies. Like I don't know.
I don't know. Them zesties. We talked about that a little bit earlier with cousin Janice and Chloe Johnson, but you can check that video out too. But go ahead.
It's given a little bit of seasoning salt with extra sodium, like a lot of like a.
Yes, but the men were very zest. They had a lot of sazon on them.
I love it, Keita. You are so funny. But you know what? Yes, because I'm gonna say this before we even get to it. I'm just gonna say this up front. Anytime a man can't control himself, okay, so we always talk about in our society about women being emotional, but when a man can't control himself, talking back to a woman, that's usually not the thing to do. Okay, so you state your case, and then if you guys disagree, then maybe it's time to zip it and let her be the one fussing. Okay, because men typically, real masculine men, don't do that back and forth thing with women like that, not publicly, especially.
And my thing is this, like, I don't even feel like the women are like like igniting these arguments. I really feel like it's the men starting the arguments with the women.
Yep.
Even when it came between like, you know, Keena and Wiley. Like I definitely agree that I thought that Keena was kind of mean, you know, on that first episode when Wiley said that he was like 34. You know, like she was like she was over it at that point.
Keena, she had the headache, her feet
But
was
like
hurt,
I was like
was going on.
But like to say that she's stalking your story is completely like, you know, extra. Like we all look at stories when like we're on IG. Like who doesn't do that?
Exactly.
And how do you know how many times somebody looked at your story anyway? It don't give you a quantity. Like, you know, it just tell you who looked at your story.
I think that brother was projecting. What do you think, Alex?
Well, Keena's trying to say something. What are you gonna say, Keena? Because Keena's trying to hit the button.
Oh, okay. Hit the button, Keena.
I wasn't mean when I first.
Not at all.
I wasn't mean when I first met Wiley. I was just very direct. It doesn't work for my setup. I said it several times, and I'm going to say it. I don't want a 3-year-old man. I don't want that. I like older men, so there's no need for me to waste my time with a young.
Hello.
That's
okay. There it is.
Wait a minute. Hold on, Jeremy. Can I ask you a personal question? And you don't have to, you know, answer it if it's too personal, but I just wanted to know. So what age bracket does work for your setup? Would it be 40-year-old man or 45 or does he have to be 50?
They're 40s. And you have to understand, like production was pushing Wiley on me, like I said before. So, you know, they wanted me. It was very irritating for me to film because they wanted me to be the cougar. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And then they tried to pass that to the key after you.
So it's just like, okay, I'm not trying to play into this narrative, but when he goes back and wants to say I was the person who started the he's too young narrative, that was what the storyline that production wanted. So when I refused to, you know, play into the cougar narrative, they tried to get the Kia to like, okay, the older woman talking to the younger guy. It just that storyline just did not work with these group of women. We wasn't having it. And you know, and we were Instagram friends. So if I click and see your story, that does not mean that I'm watching you. You're not that important.
Exactly.
You don't even know who you are. Last name what? Who? Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
And why are you like, and how are you just gonna blame it on you? Like you are the sole reason as to why everybody thought that he was young. Like not like everybody couldn't tell that he was 33.
Right.
And everybody else is like 39, 45. Like, you know, it just didn't make sense anyway. It's not his fault. It's really the producers. Like they really need to stop having this high variance as far as like the age gaps between the contestants. Like it shouldn't be somebody who's 50 and then somebody who's 33 coming into the same, you know, season to find love. That's very odd.
They could have brought in some women in their 20s because basically women tend to date up in age 4 or 5 years. So they could have brought somebody in their late 20s, I think.
But
what do you think, Tina?
Better DC first season because they had a lot of younger women on that show. So he would have been probably better like on these, you know, the DMV season versus the Potomac season. But he did make a connection with Tiffany, you know, so you know.
Well, we are how that ended.
We'll get it. We'll get into that later too.
We'll get there when we get there. Right. Because you know we interviewed Tiffany, so
we interviewed Tiffany.
Kind of know a little bit more about that situation.
Yeah.
But I will. Oh, go ahead.
I already know.
Yeah.
Right. But I was gonna say this. I will say this that I saw in Wiley this episode and finally in the finale or the reunion or whatever. I saw in him a side that I hadn't seen when he was being all meek and mild-mannered and, you know, just a young guy. I saw some sides of him that kind of gave me understanding to why things worked out the way they did. But that's for later, though. Okay.
Well, yeah, we shot ahead a little bit. I want to kind of get back to Laverne and Ace and that whole situation.
Go ahead and do Laverne because I got Demetrius coming up next. But go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a little suspect because, you know, Ace had a connection with Vern. So why would she, in his mind, I guess, be the catalyst to a conspiracy to get him kicked off? You know, do you think that Carmen was the catalyst?
She was sharing something with him. I don't think he wasn't saying she was the catalyst. No.
talking. So that was her connection. And when you have a connection, sometimes what do we call, old folks call it pillow talk. They was just talking.
Right.
Oh my. Oh my.
Yeah. Pillow talk. Pillow talk. Don't start nothing, Keena.
Not pillow talk.
Yeah.
Not pillow
Well,
talk.
heard it
Don't make me call Tyrone.
Yeah, I don't think Tyrone want to hear nothing about no pillow talk.
Don't make me
He
call
said, "That's
Tyrone.
my woman now. That's my woman."
Tell him, come on, help you get choked.
Come back, come back, Keena, come back.
No, not pillow talk. I'm just saying that is a term. You know, they was just confiding. She was just confiding in a person that she had a connection with and was saying whatever. And you know, I think it got misinterpreted.
Giving them the heads up, so to speak, kind of, sort of.
Yeah.
I didn't think she expected him to be so sassy at the elimination, and spill the beans about everything that she told him.
But he's one of the men that's very zesty, as you like to call it. I think he's a little on the zesty side.
I think that what she was trying to do was tell him, hey, you just need to get yourself mentally prepared so you're not surprised, not so you could verbally come at Serena. It was giving, giving zesty, it's giving very much zesty.
Not going to hand-to-hand combat with the girl.
Yeah, he was ready for battle.
He thought he was in the middle of a war.
Lord have mercy. You know what? I just don't think men typically do all that dropping dime and throwing names out like that. I mean, just say, I heard y'all wanted me.
I grew up around, but they're masculine men, so I don't know about these other types. I don't know.
I heard y'all wanted me off, so I'm just going to go ahead and bow out gracefully, whatever. But all that dropping names, your girl said this, ask her. That's not a typically, a man thing. But Laverne's an emotional cat.
And that's what I'm saying. That's the part of him that is falling on the feminine behavioral side. There's nothing wrong with having him. There's nothing wrong with having emotions, but all of us, men and women, listen to what I'm saying. All of us, men and women who have matured, have reached a certain point in life, and that's not age, that's maturity, as in emotional, mental maturity and resilience. You can control your emotions. You might twitch. You might open your mouth to say something and catch yourself and be like, no, you know what? You would be like Ace. You would have that zen about you, like, you know what? This isn't the time or the place. Right. And I'm just thinking, for him, for a guy that was trying to show that he wasn't a narcissist and all this other stuff, I think he left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouth. But like I said, we can move on from Laverne and let's move on to Demetrius, right? So Demetrius, they're showing him, he's chocolatey and he came with the suits and the tailored and the refinement. But what I find really interesting about Demetrius is that we don't hear any words from him until this episode, like the final episode. Now he got all the words. All the words are just coming out.
Right.
What do you think? You were there. So, I mean, was he as wordy there as what we saw on TV tonight? Because I know they cut a lot of it out.
Look at that comment from Mocha.
What she say? Let me get it up here.
What you say?
Mocha says, oh Lord. Mocha, shame on you. So back to Laverne. Was he as talkative as he seemed? Because I mean, like all of a sudden now he's talking. Laverne. Not Laverne. Demetrius. I'm sorry, my bad. Demetrius.
He's just settled in his approach. He's not gonna. He just laid back. But I feel like he had a lot to say because he was in a combative situation with Precious. So of course he's gonna defend himself.
Well, I I see it as this again, and this is just me. And I again, granted, I'm old school. We're gonna just call it what it is. I'm old school as old school can get, and I'm traditional in a lot of ways. So my thing is, as a man, you state your case. You know, it's nothing about defending yourself because first of all, if the other person in your mind, if you can see that somebody is looking like they're off the cuff, if they're overly like maybe they've been drinking or whatever that thing is, or they're just overly excited. Everybody else can also see the same things that you see. So you state your points and then you can just stop. You know, as a man, you have a certain form to hold. That's what I look at. And he did not hold his form. He was going back and forth with her like two schoolgirls. That's what I saw. I'm like, what in the heck? You got all this to say, but you had nothing to say when you were sitting on that bus.
He wasn't going back and forth with her. He was just trying to diffuse the situation. And it was
no.
And Aubrey, listen.
Okay.
You keep saying the men don't go back and forth with women, and typically we don't. But at some point, if you feel disrespected or you feel like that your manhood's being attacked, you gotta listen. You better go ahead with that.
Manhood was being attacked.
Whatever.
You know, it was no manhood being attacked. He didn't like what she was saying, but you know what? But that's not the way to to get her to say less. Go ahead. I'm sorry. If
he felt like he's being attacked, if that's how he felt, forget what you feel, forget what we feel. If he feel like he's being attacked, he got every right to defend himself. Whether it's words, she talking mess to him. She went from a 0 to 100.
He started it. Okay, here's the part. Okay, can I say this part? This is the part where he went in on her, and this is where it became a war. Okay, the exact words he said. He said to her, "Are you high?" Okay, why would he say that?
She was already at 100 before he said that. She was already on her way to 100.
I'm saying, but do you think that by him saying that's going to bring her down to 0? Is that
he was agitated at that point? He was already agitated.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, she was. I give you that Precious was very agitated. I give you that. But saying that to her, that are you high, that is not going to make her less agitated.
Unless he knew something we don't.
Yeah, but like she was out of control, and like I understand that you're frustrated that people have made like these preconceived notions about you, but for you to just be going at everybody, cussing at everybody, just not okay, and people are not just gonna allow themselves to be disrespected as a grown man just because you're a woman. That does not make sense to me. Now I agree that Demetrius, who I like to call myself, Demetrius, who I like to call, Funky Dineva, Cicely Tyson, Eddie Kane Jr. III. I like to
what?
With those missing eyebrows. He's got those missing eyebrows. Demetrius don't have no eyebrows.
What I'm saying is like it's just a different way to to handle the situation, and like to just be cussing people out and doing everything was just unladylike. It was uncool. And just because you're a woman, like men are not just gonna allow you to just be calling them everything in the book. Like it's just not gonna happen, so I agree that Precious was right, but I don't agree that the way that she handled it, was the best way. And Demetrius, like he had the right to defend himself. And like how you gonna be cussing at me and I can't say nothing back to you because you're a woman. If you're a woman, you should act like one, right? If we being old school.
Yeah, because if she's sitting there talking all that to him, he just sitting there, let's say for instance, he's sitting there with his head down, taking all that abuse. Then we got something to say about that. Whatever.
Okay. Keena, come back, Keena. I need some feminine energy on this panel.
No, you got enough feminine energy. The whole chat is feminine. The whole chat is feminine.
Excuse me, but I'm talking about up here on this panel. Thank you very much. Whatever. Don't you whatever me, Alex W. Leath. I got one back for you too. Here. That is better. Okay. So
where's Keena? My girl Keena.
Mocha says, and now this is allegedly. Mocha says something here on the screen that Precious did have a flask in her purse. I don't know. Now, this is what people in our chat come join our quirky, lovable family here on Actually Aubery. This is what Mocha is saying. So I don't know. I know people. I used to have a family member that used to carry a flask everywhere they went, including church. So hey, who knows? I don't know.
I'm not messing with Mocha tonight. Mocha's off the meter.
Keena, what do you
have a flask?
Well, see, that's what I said. That's why I said allegedly. I'm just reading what the lady said. I didn't say that, and like I said, I really didn't think that it was appropriate for him to ask her was she high, because out of all the people there, I'm sure plenty of those grown people had maybe a beverage or what have you. I'm just saying they might have. Okay,
The backstory on that, if you've ever heard Precious interviews, she has dealt.
Not really.
She had family members, you know what I'm saying, in her family that had drug abuse and stuff like that. So that was a trigger for her. So
see, and that's what I'm saying. I'm asking her that.
Just didn't take that lightly, like that really triggered her. So it's more of a trigger than what it was said.
Right, and that's what I was saying. To me, that's why you heard me when I told Alex. I said, listen, when he said that to her, all bets were off. All bets were off. You can't say that to me, and I don't even drink like that. Don't ask me if I'm high. No, sir, I'm not high. Never high.
But obviously that triggered her to the nth degree, because she threw the bird and everything, and then it took I know Keena was in the back there, and Sabrina and everybody, Ace trying to get her to stay, and she said, "I'm out of here." That's it.
Keena,
yeah.
Keena,
I didn't know that. What Keena? I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jeremy. Go ahead.
I have a question for you, Keena. Since you were actually there, who do you feel was in the right in that conversation?
I don't know. I'm not going to say either one of them was in the right. I just think it escalated far. You know what I'm saying? Because it happened really fast. Honestly, we really didn't realize how fast it was happening, and I was in the back watching it. So I'm like, "Whoa, what just happened?" And I think that him calling her a party girl. There was other things that probably were said. I wasn't there to it. Things that were said while they were filming. The guys talking, things getting back to the girls. So I think there was other things that said, and like she is a career woman.
That's the part people keep forgetting. You guys have good jobs.
She has her own business and stuff like that. She doesn't want that narrative out there as a party girl. She's worked hard for what she has, and it's like, you on TV calling me a party girl. Like, don't do that. And I think that was really like the main thing. Like, don't discredit me like that. I'm more than that. So
right. Well, meanwhile, people are talking about manhood. Let's talk about professionalism too. But I think I do agree with you though, and to Alex's point, she was out of pocket, and so was he. They were both out of pocket. But what I was saying, to go back to Jeremy, is that I'm saying that most men wouldn't have taken it out of pocket like that. So they probably wouldn't have been called the B word subsequently. But that's just my thought. I don't know that for a fact, but that's how I feel. So I got my opinion, and everybody has theirs. But moving on along.
If he had called her the B word, it'd be a totally different discussion right now. If he called her the B word on national TV.
Now, Alex, us totally men, different. we can't do certain things.
Yeah, we can't do stuff like that.
What about Demetri?
She Miss Aubrey trying to change the subject.
Don't you call me Miss Aubrey. You don't have that right. You need to drop about 20 years before you can call me Miss Aubrey. But
I'm a young man.
Let him know Miss Aubrey. That's the name only I can
young
say.
In spirit.
Right, there you go, Jeremy. That's Jeremy's. He can call me that, okay? Not you. So anyway, what I was gonna say about Demetrius. So what did you guys make of Demetrius' conversation with Tina? Because Tina was talking about him, when she met him, she thought he was a player because everybody wanted him and so forth and so on. Keena, why don't you start us off? Do you remember that part of the reunion?
Where part?
With Demetrius, and now they're talking about Demetrius, and they're talking to Tina, and she was saying that just everybody wanting him, it kind of had her thinking that he was a player, and she basically said as much. That she thought maybe he might be a player, because at that point they were on their first date. This is what the setup is. They were on their first date, and they do a flashback to Tina and Demetrius's first date, and he seems to be what's the word I'm looking for? Genuine enough, because I thought he was
marks when it comes to the things that she says. So I have no comment.
There's a lot of what now? I didn't hear you.
There's a lot of question marks that question marks when it comes to the things that Tina says. So I just don't have a comment.
Okay.
Does that mean you don't like her?
I don't know her not to like her. I just don't, it's
We still
She
we
said
still
no
trying to figure
comment,
out.
Alex.
Mhm.
Okay.
Like we still trying to figure out how Tina was busting people's doors open and kicking the windows and the mirrors down
What?
while she was in high school. Y'all remember
Yeah.
what her ex said?
Yeah.
Come
And
on,
mind
guys.
you, the
It's
ex
what,
said that was in
15 years later?
2003. Huh?
It's 15 years later. Come on now.
But no, but you know what? To Jeremy's point, right? Listen, to
Okay.
Jeremy's point.
Am I
All
missing
right.
something? Okay.
Listen, to Jeremy's point,
Mhm.
the ex said at the meeting when he met with the potentials, he said, if you piss her off or if you annoy her, she will disappear on you. He gave them the blueprint. And what did she end up doing? Ghosting everybody.
Disappeared. Yeah, now that she did. And I thought that was unfair from the aspect of, why did you come on the show? I know and I've never done reality TV, so I know it's got to be allowed. Alex, you and I have talked to, like, with Keena and the other people that have been on the show. It's a lot, and for everybody, their mental and emotional state may not be as resilient as they think it is, with all the dealing with fans and dealing with backlash and people coming in your comments cussing you out and calling you dummy and stupid and all kinds of things. But my thing was, you kind of had an idea. If you watched the show and you jumped on IG, you could kind of have an idea. Why not have that spot for somebody that was really there to look for love and had a little bit more resiliency? That's kind of what because she did ghost the show.
And you know what else? And maybe Keena can attest to this. I'm not sure. She don't really want to discuss Tina, but
Ellen V said Tina lies. Next,
yeah.
that's Ellen V allegedly. Okay.
Yeah, I think she just don't want to take accountability. Tommy was trying to give her the opportunity to take accountability. I mean, I know she did what she think is best for her, but at the same time, you do owe an explanation to the show, to the people that brought you on, to your cast members. Say something. But that's just a character flaw that she has, and that's what her ex was saying. And apparently she still hasn't gotten past that. That's a very immature response, what she did. And that's something that she's going to have to grow out of, because to me right now, as beautiful as she is and all that, she's still not a full-grown woman emotionally. Women mature faster than men, I'm always told, but she has not gotten there yet, because a grown woman would have said, this is not for me. My guy's not here, Tommy. I'm ready to go. Would have sat down and had a conversation and leave.
Yeah, which that's gonna keep that same energy. So when we get to Clifton and the Dakia thing, keep that same energy. Yes.
Can we really try to really figure out and break down how Tina is 31, I'm 27, and she was in high school in 2003 when Beyonce released an album?
She's not 31. I don't think she's 31. She's not 31. That's probably was a typo or something.
But she said that she was 31 as well. Like, I'm telling you, you can tell by her elbows that she's 45.
Right. I'm over Jeremy.
Thanks.
I'm over him.
Sit down.
I'm over him now. I'm over Jeremy.
The age don't match up with the years. What are you talking about?
I'm over Jeremy too. He is just way too much. Way too much.
You'll never see my elbows.
Keena, what were you saying about the elbows, hon?
Now, Keena, you good, baby. You good. You got the lotion on. You good. You got the lotion.
Oh, Jeremy, I didn't know you got down like that. Oh my Lord. Oh my Lord.
He's a hot
my
mess.
goodness. Okay, so what did you guys think about Paul? Paul's segment comes up and we talk about Paul deciding to choose himself.
No, you know what though?
Paul, interrupt. I'm gonna have to jump off here.
Oh, okay. All right, dear.
It was so much fun. I enjoyed it.
We absolutely love you. You're welcome to come back anytime at all, dear. Okay.
We love you.
All right. All right. You want me to drop you down now? Okay. All right. Take care, Keena. Thanks again.
No problem.
I'm working with my mouse. Here we go. Okay. Here we go. All right.
But you know what? All right, Keena. She's always lovely. Love her.
I know.
Yeah, but
that was a big mistake the show made, letting her go the first day, because she would have brought a lot to the whole thing, you know.
I agree. But what do you think about Tina saying? Now, somebody put in the chat, I didn't say it. Tina's a liar. Next, I didn't say that. Okay, somebody in the chat said
That
it.
was in the chat. Yes, it was.
Right, but so I'm gonna say this. Tina said Paul was conspiring with her to eliminate herself so they can walk off together and be together because he wanted her.
Yeah, that was interesting to me. Well, I don't know who to believe. Do you believe her? Do you believe him? Because something I don't know what to think of that. I mean, like, why would she just come up with that randomly?
I think Paul really did like her. You know what went on because her looks. She'll get you with them looks. Okay,
she's gorgeous.
And
she is absolutely stunning.
And clearly, Paul likes younger women. Okay.
Oh, hey, clearly. What did I tell you? I had my conversation with you about that. But anyway, that's all he likes. Girl, even though she's just a couple of years older than his daughter, allegedly. But okay, yeah.
So he likes younger women. So I can't believe something was said behind the scenes. Maybe not to that extent. That's up to them. Only them two know it. But I believe something was said because he did like her.
Yeah, yeah. And that's interesting that he would ask that of her though too. I just, as I'm thinking about it, because I'm thinking about the full implications of that. Like, why would you do it? Why not just do like Joy and Clifton? If you guys had an instant chemistry, why not just stay on the show and end up together at the end? Why not do that?
Right. Because after Tina left or she no longer had a connection with Paul, we all seemed to think, Paul was grasping at straws at that point, trying to find a connection. And we knew he wouldn't end up with the Kia.
Right.
So, but for me, it was just grasping at straws at the end and I guess building friendships because his love was not, his love was not there.
Right. So if she had stayed, then he would have had a connection with her, and they would have, talked about it and talked it out. But I think that's what a number of these people, and I'm just guessing. This is my imagination, so don't nobody go saying Aubrey said that this, that, the other. But this is my imagination. At this point, with the show being on for multiple seasons, that people kind of do get together because that's what I basically saw Eric and Carmen doing at first, which is why she was scrambling, looking around, and then she saw Donovan. She was like, "Oh, okay, Donovan's still here."
Right, yeah.
So
check your elbows. Monique King says, "Check your elbows."
What are your thoughts, Jeremy? Don't go all quiet because Keena left. Don't get all quiet now. What are your thoughts on any of this about Tina?
Honestly, I never trusted Paul or his nostrils from the beginning.
Here you go. See, I like it when you're on my side, Jeremy.
I've been trying to tell everybody that he's been fake from the beginning, and that is why I stay on Paul's neck and his nostrils because he only came onto this show for clout, and he everything that he said sound rehearsed, everything that he said sound like a lie, everything that he said didn't add up, and then he got called out for talking about the Kia behind her back, while also telling her that she has like the strength of 10 African kings, because he loved to tell her how strong she was. And I'm just saying,
those 2 times when he told her that, I almost passed out. I'm like, that's the last thing a woman wants to hear from a man romantically. Don't tell me how strong I am. Don't tell me that.
Yeah,
tell me how strong you will be for me. Tell me how strong you will be for me.
Literally, women only like to hear how strong they are is when their kids tell them that on Mother's Day. Outside of that, don't no woman want to hear that. Outside of that, don't know. But anyway, but I definitely believe that he told her that because his lack of interest in everybody else on the show after Tina left, it showed that he really was only feeling Tina. And but unfortunately, Tina saw that his bank account wasn't heavy enough, so she dipped. Tina was not trying to have. She not only is she gonna have a child and the father is not in the picture, but she ain't about to take care of no 50-year-old man who's not making money like that. She wanted to be taken care of, and that's not what Paul or his nostrils could offer. So
the nostrils, oh Lord. But who was fine? Speaking of Paul's nostrils, how's his brother doing? I wonder.
Oh, look at you. His brother married. Remember?
He's doing Miss Aubrey. He's doing married.
Yeah,
Oh
he's married.
darn! Oh darn! Y'all gotta keep reminding me. Doggone it, he would have to be married because he sure was a cutie.
Yeah,
Ooh-wee.
Carmen. Who's it? Mocha Mima says, Carmen didn't really want Eric because Eric was, how you doing? You know.
I was talking about this earlier.
You
Go
should
back and watch. Go back and watch my video. I get a little
put
bit
that
of
comment up,
detail.
Aubrey. Put that comment up, Aubrey.
Okay, I'm trying to find it.
Mocha Mima was like, Carmen didn't want Eric because Eric was.
Yeah, that's what I said earlier. I said
Look at
that.
that.
You guys listen to my 7:00 podcast
goodness.
with Chloe Johnson and the wonderful Janice Hilton. We
Y'all gotta
talked about
stop.
it. We really got into it. I said, okay, I'm not gonna say no more about that guy, but
She
y'all can't tell me what I already know. Okay.
She done went Wendy Williams on it. How you doing?
I'm dead. I cannot.
I mean, you know what? People want to say he's polished.
Goodness.
You know what? You think Eric is polished, and then say one thing that he doesn't like, and watch him call you all the N words and all the MFs and all the B's.
Eric
he is straight. He is straight street. Okay,
Eric
is not refined.
Eric is a distinguished gentleman. He's a distinguished gentleman.
Yeah, say one thing he don't like, and I tell you, he's straight up gutter. Straight up gutter. Okay, whatever. Moving forward.
Oh my goodness gracious.
All right, so
Next point.
so we got Paul chooses himself. Okay, Tina talks about why she left the show. So I guess we kind of talked about this. Does anybody else have any comments? Okay.
Nah.
Like I said, I felt that Tina left the show because she was on the run from the IRS and or the cartel. I believe that she's been hiding underneath these different makeup contours and witness protection wigs, changing her identity every 3 months. Like Tina has been acting suspicious ever since she got on the TV, and Keena's behavior just confirmed.
Hey guys, while he's going on his tirade, would you please check your likes for me? Check your likes and make sure you like the video. It's so important to the algorithm. Help your girl out. And if you're not already subscribed, please subscribe now. I'm on my run to 1,000. So guys, okay, so then we get to the portion of the show where now we're kind of focused in. They call it a love triangle, which really that's going too far. But we're talking about Miss Takia, we're talking about Miss Joy, and we're talking about Mr. Clifton. They show some really cute clips of Clifton and Takia in the her dance studio that she owns. I'm assuming that was her dance studio, and they showed him, doing little dance steps. It was cute. Yeah. But Joy, when they came out of it, Joy kind of had a little fire and passion and a little bravado in her voice when she kind of got on Takia about, well, you could never take my man from me, and he's my man, and how dare you say that you could take him from me? How dare you?
Did she sound like that? Is that how she sounded?
This is my imitation of it, okay? I'm not her and she not me, but this is my impersonation of Joy, because she was getting down into it, okay? But my thing was, again, just like I said with the men, when you really know you got something such as a man, why you got to do so much? Why you got to say so much? Just sit back, honey, and talk, pop your collar a little bit. That's what I would have did. But she not me. So what was your take on Joy and this whole situation? And about Clifton, could Clifton have been a little more straightforward with Takia? Because that's where I felt like the problem came in, and why she was getting angry at the woman, like women always do, battling each other. Why don't you get mad at the idiot man of yours?
I was a little disappointed, and it's the first time because all season I raved about Joy and Clifton and different things of that nature, and I also raved about Takia, and because they were actually those were the three of my favorites all season.
Okay.
But I was kind of disappointed in the reunion a little bit with Joy and Clifton because Takia is a lady, right? And she always displayed herself very classy, very ladylike, and in my opinion, just basic human common courtesy. She deserved an explanation because they did have a connection. Now, everybody knew, of course, that Joy and Clifton had the strongest connection from day one. But he had to go through the process. Him and Takia did have a connection. Okay, they started to get a little closer than he thought. but him and Joy still had the strong connection. So instead of just saying you supposed to know because everybody else knew, still give me the courtesy to have a conversation. Y'all been talking behind the scenes, on camera. They show stuff that wasn't even never seen before footage they showing. So
Right.
if you going that far, then she deserves, as a basic human common courtesy, things we taught as children. Okay, you sit her down and you talk to her and say, listen, I have a stronger connection with Joy. You're a superwoman. I think you're great, but I'm going to go and dedicate this time to Joy or whatever. And that's it. That doesn't take much. You know what I mean?
Take much. It's not like
much.
you're telling her that you know that she's a bad person or hurt her feelings. I mean, yes, true enough. And see, I think that's where a lot of men, and even women, but typically we see this with men a lot, where even on Put a Ring on It, for example, on that show, Alfonso tonight is having a conversation about with the Dr. Ponytail about how he's never told his ex-girlfriend, who he claims it's been 4 years since he's been with her in any kind of intimate way. He never even told her that it was over with. He said he just kind of phased things out. You know, men are good for that. We talk about Tina ghosting the whole show, but men typically, when they're done with women, they've done all that they want to do. What they do, they typically ghost women. They don't have a talk. They don't have a conversation. Doesn't matter if it was 3 months or 3 years. They don't have those conversations. And that's a sad thing, because there's so much that could be healed in a person, in the woman, and even in the man, by just having that simple conversation that this is not working for me. You know?
I think ghosting period is a very disrespectful, dismissive thing. Now, if you're online dating and you start texting with somebody for maybe a couple of hours and it's not a connection, you don't owe them an explanation.
No.
Okay. But if you've been out on 1 or 2 dates, you've been talking all night long and getting to know this person and share some time with them, okay, then you don't just ghost like that. That's very disrespectful. And you hurt people's feelings like that, because you want it done to you.
No.
So you owe the explanation. Listen, it's been great, but I don't feel a connection. It's hard to find those connections. That's what people kind of misunderstand. You got a certain connection and a chemistry with somebody, you can't even explain that.
No.
It's something in the energy. It's something universal or something. You can't even explain that kind of thing. So when you don't have it or you don't feel it and it's just not there, it's just not there.
But it struck me as a woman and as a viewer who is a woman, it struck me that Clifton had some connection with Takia. He liked her. He enjoyed her company.
He did.
He sure didn't mind feeding her those oysters on that date. But you know what?
And telling dirty jokes.
But see, that just goes to show us women, and that's something that we as women, unfortunately, have to be aware of, that this is how some men move, especially men with lack of, and I'm going to say it, I feel like it's a lack of integrity. Guys, if you think of anything else you want to call it, to me, it's a lack of integrity, because Clifton, I thought he was a stand-up guy, and I'm not saying that he probably isn't, but that move right there, that lost him a lot of brownie points for me, just for me personally. And I know I'm not in his dating life, so it don't really matter to him about me. But, you know, it also, I'm going to say this, though, as a woman, it showed, what's her name? Joy needs to be watching him, because what a man's habits are and his behavior and his integrity and his character, what he does to one woman, he will do to you.
And you know what?
Pay attention, Joy. While you shaking with glee and joy, you know, right now, pay attention.
In my dating life, when I've dated a woman for a long period of time, you know, several months, maybe a year or so, I listen very intently on what she said about her exes. You know, what her perspective is of the breakup, how she talks about her parents, you know, her daddy, her mama, whatever. I listen very intently, because as my brother's wife always say, you know, today you, tomorrow me, because the same thing she did to those people, she'll end up doing to me. Okay, so I have to be very cognizant of how she speak and what she say. You got to pay attention to these things. You can't just dismiss those things and go, well, he or she would never do that to me.
Right.
But
I'm better. I'm so much better. Our connection is so much deeper. It's deep
right.
today because you're 3 months in and you in the honeymoon phase, dum dum.
Yeah.
Give it
Yeah.
6 months. Give it a year, and let's see if he's still rolling with you like that, or did he just phase you on out and move on to the next one?
What you think, Jeremy?
Ooh wee. I just want to apologize real quick because I really feel like I'm about to drag Joy.
Stop it.
Yes, PG-13,
my
but go ahead. Go ahead. Get
so
it. Get
like
it. Get it. Get it. Get
so
it.
my thing is this, like, it's fine that you like this man. And it's fine that you love this man, Joy.
Yeah.
But for you to have to tear down the key in the process, I didn't like that. I didn't like the way it made me feel. I didn't like the way it made her feel. And I don't like the way that she cried because of how y'all made her feel. Like for you as a woman to take somebody's feelings like that and then turn it around and make them feel dumb, for believing somebody as far as it goes in like into the love aspect, then that's wrong, especially because you've been crying literally every episode about your love for Clifton, but it's wrong when Dakia does it. Y'all barely both knew this man. Like, you don't know you don't know how long he was talking to her. You don't know what he was telling her because on camera, he was saying that there was a chance that there could still be something. She asked for clarification numerous times. Is there a way, like, is there still a chance? Like, are you still on the market? He said yes. So how are you gonna call her stupid for continuing this on? And it's a competition or whatever Keena called it. So we're all going after the same people. So therefore, you got to be cool with it. But for you to sit here and disrespect, try to belittle, embarrass, and humiliate somebody was real tacky and classist, especially when you don't know how to dress and you've been embarrassing yourself every episode. And the way that life in those like what you call them passion twists is taking her hairline back. She should it's not right for her to sit here and want to embarrass that lady like that. That lady did nothing and she held herself with class. And my thing is this: why is everybody so mad that Dakia actually went through the process respectfully,
like he was supposed to?
she never once disrespected. She never once disrespected Joy. She always showed Joe love. She always showed Clifton respect. And when Clifton made it very clear that at that point that he was choosing Joy, Dakia didn't try to force herself on him. Dakia didn't try to change his mind. Dakia was a little bit sad, but she took it with a grain of salt and she went about her way. I don't think that she was out here being desperate. Now, do I think that the camera made it seem that she was more invested than she should have been? Probably so, but she's not able to see the connection that you have with him, Joy.
Right.
And until you do right, and I'm in my opinion, until you do right by the Kia, your hairline is going to continue to get peeled back like cradle cap, and God will never bless you with a protective hairstyle. It will never happen, and you will continue to have them tacky clothes. How dare you go after that woman like that? And you never been a ladies' woman. You always been cheering on the man doing these petty little zesty things, like on each episode when Donovan called them girls, the Golden Girls, like her face ain't sagging already. Like, sis, you're let's stop acting like you have a youthful face, Joy. Now you definitely look your age. Like, let's stop playing now. You don't look bad, but you don't look too much younger than the kid. Let's stop it there. But and then on top of that, you just cheer on these men, you cheered on Eric after he disrespected Dakia, after he physically violated her and groped her in front of public. Like, you're pathetic. And no matter what you do, sis, no matter what you do, you're always going to be a pick me, and you're always going to be running after a man. You're the type to leave your children, your family, and everybody else behind to run after that man, while that man is probably cheating on you and impregnating any other girl who has time when you're not busy. So let's not do that, Joy. Like, you came off very pathetic, very petty, very childish, and you should be ashamed of yourself. You sat there real proud when your man was feeding girls oysters, talking about, quote unquote, eating the box. You know, you didn't talk about that. He's like all those sexual innuendos. She didn't come up with that herself. She didn't come up with that herself. So how you gonna sit here and make that woman feel like all of this is just her fault? You just mad because your man who you thought liked you so much was entertaining another woman, and instead of taking it out on that man next to you, you're taking it out on Dakia. But don't take it out on her. Take it out on Clifton and his medium package. Because only a man who don't have anything packing below will allow himself to be dominated and captivated to lie on stage and make it seem that he never had a connection with that woman. How dare you? I'm done.
When you say castrated, what'd you say?
Woo! Where's my applause machine at? Hold up a second, Jeremy.
I was really upset.
Did Jeremy say you say castrated or captivated? Which one would you say?
Both.
Joy
both. Is that with an F? Both.
I've been seeing Joy like in a whole different light. But as my girl Janice Hilton said she called it early on that Joy was very male identified, very much so, and very masculine tendencies. But we didn't see it. And I will say this: I gotta give my credit, or I gotta point at myself that because she was so pretty and such a beautiful smile, I think. You know what? I was so captivated by her. It just went over my head that her tendencies and her behavior was very male identified. I'm sorry, and it is. And and I'm gonna say this. That's maybe it may seem like a dig, but I'm a guy's girl myself. So like I deal in less emotion and more facts. And I'm not like I don't have that tendency to be real cryy and teary-eyed like a lot of women. I don't get easily moved by men telling me compliments. I look good, blah, 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 whatever. But I thought that was a good thing. But the way when you turn it against another woman to harm her, like Jeremy said, for no other reason than the fact that she went through the process of this so-called dating show called Ready to Love, where you're supposed to remain open until a later time when you make your final decision. All Clifton had to do was just tell her that it wasn't her, that he had decided on Joy. That's all that man had to do.
Yeah, and in response to Jeremy, let me just say that the opinions and guests on the Actually Aubery podcast are not express written rules and consent.
Oh my Lord! Wait a minute. Hold on a second.
I gotta give a disclaimer.
Hold on a second. Read this, guys. Read this. Take a moment and read this. Read this. Copyright and not our opinions and blah 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 blah. Okay.
Oh my God.
All right.
You got to put that up for Jeremy.
Okay. Yeah, but I mean, we're gonna have opinions. That's what this show is about. I'm always amazed that we get guests on here still too. So, and by the way, Dakia, we're waiting for you, dear. We're waiting for your interview. Yeah. We are welcoming you with open arms. You come here. We're gonna protect you, and nobody gonna be talking crazy about you in the chat because we ain't having that. Are we, Jeremy?
Absolutely not. No, we're not.
We're not having that. So you come right on over here, darling. Right when you're ready. Whenever you've done your tour.
Yeah, and I want to speak to Ace. I want to speak to Ace as well.
Oh yes, and also Ace. Yes, yeah. Exactly. And Eric, if you dare, you come over here too, because we'd like to talk to you and get your side of the story too.
Mm-hmm. You gonna cut his throat?
I'm not. Now, let me tell you something. Now, this is something, a rule that I live by. My mother taught me when you invite somebody to your house, and this channel is part of my house at this point now. You don't disrespect them. I would never invite anybody over here for an interview and disrespect them. Never. I wouldn't allow. I honestly, I wouldn't. I have my thoughts about Eric, but I try to keep an open mind, and I would ask him questions to find out what his take is on it. I really would.
You're all hot, Aubery. You're all hot.
Well, I'm being sincere now. I'm not joking. Okay. I'm not joking. I have my thoughts about him, but I'm saying this, that if he can come on here and tell me whatever facts that I'm missing, maybe he can fill in the blanks for me. I don't know. Right.
Yeah. And you know what? And to our defense, we only got what they show us. Okay. So, a lot of times is editing, is production, is this, that, and the third. We understand that. But a lot of times when we're doing, as podcasters and journalists or whatever the case is, we only can go off of what they show us. Now, when we see other stuff or we speak to them and we're enlightened by new information, then we, talk about that information. But if we only got what you're showing us, then That's it. Like Keena said before, you know, she said, okay, she may not like the way they edited some of the stuff, but you had to say it so they can edit it. You know, so there's certain things that just get edited a certain way. That's true. But the words still had to come out of your mouth. You're still responsible for the words that come out of your mouth. You know what I mean? So yeah.
You and my thing is this too. So whether I want to add this. So my thing is I have pretty firm opinions on some things that I saw this season already, and not just based on what I saw, but also information that I've been given from other sources as we're probing and getting interviews. So those things come into play too. But my thing is that if we bring somebody on to interview them, it's, you know, whatever I feel about them, I'm going to remain neutral in the asking of questions and allow the guests and the viewers to draw their own conclusion, because that's what it is. When you present something, you allow people to draw their, because your conclusion might not be the same as my conclusion, but you know, my experiences are different, so we're all different, so that's okay. But I wanted to get to
who was next?
We've got I'm missing something, but I'm gonna just go ahead and skip to what did you guys think?
The key. Are you gonna go to the key now?
That's the last thing, but there's something. Hold on, let me see if I can pull it back up. There's something. Okay, yeah. There was Wiley. We get to the Wiley talk that Wiley has, and this whole thing about him thinking that and see, of course, she left out. I see why she left early. She just was coming toward the end.
The stalker.
What do you think about the accusation or the comment? Maybe a comment. The accusation might be strong, but the comment that Wiley had, that he felt like perhaps Keena was checking him out on IG.
Well, he was calling her contradictory because he says, you know, you dismissed him, you know, at the mixer, okay, but then you turn around and all you do is follow his stories as if she's like doing it on purpose, like checking for him. So she was offended by that. You know, you go on IG or Facebook and the stories pop up and you look at them. Okay. Because you're friends with the person or you follow the person or whatever. So you look at the stories. But I think the way he was saying it, like she's intentionally just going up and down his page, looking at his stories, checking for him. And she's like, okay.
Like, really?
And she's like, okay, well, I'm off of here. After today, you ain't got to worry about that no more.
Yeah. I know, right? I guess the whole cast of Love and Marriage, DC, I guess they all think I'm in love with them because I've been all over their pages. But so what? Like, really? That's why I don't like IG. You know, I tell you this all the time, Alex, every day. I hate IG. If I didn't have to go on there for this show, I would never go on there. It's so pretentious and it's such a vanity press, but whatever.
But it's what you make it. It's what you,
exactly. And I go on there to really to drum up business for this podcast because I'm not over there in nobody's DMs trying to pick me up a man, trying to pick up nobody and trying to really care about your stories. If you got something interesting or funny, I might click like, or I might click the heart or whatever that thing, you know, liking it or whatever. Trust me, I'm not looking for nobody over on IG.
And then I'm watching how, you know, Wiley, of course, him and Tiffany giving the googly eyes back and forth because I guess at the time of this filming, they were in the heat of their relationship after the show or whatever.
In the midst of it.
In the midst of it. And as we know, we spoke to Tiffany and Wiley has been, you know, doing the podcast circuit. It didn't work out, obviously. And Tiffany has some very strong things to say about that.
Check that podcast out, guys. It's on our channel page, and they're all grouped together. It's called Sit Down Conversations with, and there's at least 5 of them. Ron Freeman from the Houston season of Ready to Love, Keena is there, AP Austin is there, great interview. Tiffany is there, the one we're talking about, and Aisha. So there's at least 5 of them. So check those out if you'd like to, and you can hear in their words because there's quite a bit more that she shares about that Wiley situation, which is why I was looking at him a little side eye. Jeremy, what do you have to say? Anything about this particular point?
Like I was really disappointed in Wiley, and Wiley sounded real corny to me. Like he sounded like you say you didn't like me, but you always looking at me Instagram. Like it was giving like very middle, like very much middle schooler.
Like Mike Tyson.
I know. That's the way he sounded though. I was kind of like, oh.
I was like, and that's exactly why none of the women wanted to date you. That's the exact reason. You're a 33, 34, 35-year-old man talking about Instagram story likes as a rebuttal for people calling you young. Like, you literally confirmed everything. Like, and you know, I like, and what was so funny to me is that, you know, nobody even came at him. It's almost like he just wanted his little moment. He was like, Eric got his moment where he could be sassy. You know, Laverne got to be sassy. Now I need my turn too. You know, I didn't come here with this tight suit on for no reason. You know, it was given very much like, you know, I just want to be a part of the fun. Like, no, you did not have to go there. Like, just leave that alone.
Lord have mercy.
And then Tiffany was sitting there like, yeah, y'all, that's my man. Only up until the next 2 months is. But you know,
I was watching that. That was painful to watch, knowing what I know. That was really painful to watch her. You know, she was just grinning and what even Uncle Nephew Tommy said, yeah, he said, I hope when I see you again, y'all, you'll still be grinning like this. And I was thinking, no, she won't. She won't be.
Hey guys, look at Aubrey. Put up DeSosa's comment. She said, I'm glad Tiffany got a piece of Wiley, even if it didn't last.
Exactly. Wait. And is that the new thing? Is that the new thing to just say, so instead of saying, you know, we bumped uglies, we just say that we had great conversation?
Oh, is that? I thought that just means just what it says, like literally. Are you saying it means something else?
I'm like, in my opinion, I think it does. I was like, all that great. She was like, me and Riley had great conversation. It was great conversation.
Wink. Oh, you know what? She was on the podcast. Like I said, when she did her interview, she had some other term that she used. So yeah, I guess. Right. But you know what? She's very ladylike. I'm gonna say that. I think she's very ladylike, and a lady doesn't talk her business in public, and I'm in agreement with her on that. So you know, we're all adults, and you know, if she's saying it was great, we know that, you know, it was.
And you know what? Yeah, you know what? I think, and Tiffany was a great interview, and I think they come and speak to us because we give them a safe place to come. We give them a safe place to come and speak their truth, you know, without judgment. You know, we ask them tough questions because that's what, you know, we're supposed to do. But we're very respectful, and they feel safe coming to talk to us.
Ellen V, okay, right in the chat, because I'm on your comment. You said you never saw it for Wiley. Please explain your thoughts on that a little more. Could you please?
I never saw it.
And we're getting ready to wrap up. Okay, so guys, we got one last scene, and that's this big dramatic scene with you know, big handsome Clifton gets down on bended knee with the little jewelry box. And what had to happen? Instead of a ring and a proposal, we get a key.
But you know what? I knew it was a key. I knew it was a key.
They tried to tell me that earlier today. Yep.
You know, I was at my aunt's house watching it with her, and she was like, "He better not get on his knee in front of everybody, and it better not be a ring." Okay. And I said, he's going to do it. It's going to be a key to his house or key to his apartment. That's what it's going to be, because that's the next logical step. You know, it's not traditional. We don't live in traditional times now. So the next logical step is, let's shack up first, see how it is to live together. Then we get married, kind of thing. And they even talked about having a child. They looking for a child.
She doesn't have any children, but he has a few.
They're going to push for a child next March, next March, that she said.
Well, that's what she said. But we'll see. We'll be on IG, and it'll be a whole nother set of people. We'll see if they're still together. So we'll see. I mean, I wish them the best. I believe in love, and if they find love and they love each other, that's great.
I mean, did you really think it was a ring? Did you really think that?
I guess I'm a hopeful romantic, as Tiffany would say. I thought that, to me, and I'm just gonna say this, and I guess, you know, he probably talked. I'm assuming he talked about it with her. What he didn't talk about, you know, and communicate with Dakia. I would hope that he communicated before the episode, before they filmed it, because I'm gonna tell you, as a woman, if you get down on your knee in front of me, you better have a ring. Don't give me no dang on key. Nah, that ain't what I'm looking for. And then in public too, like, yeah, but I think these are kind of conversations. They seem to have a good chemistry, so I'm thinking that he would have told her. So, you know, they probably had all this planned.
Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah.
Jeremy, your thoughts on the key?
Yeah, your thoughts.
let's just have a can you guys just please give a round of applause for Joy, please? Like everybody just like give her a hand clap for this because
What for what?
did she get a ring? Did she get a ring? No.
Oh,
Did she get a proposal? No. But you want to know what you did get, Joy? You didn't get a proposal, you didn't get a ring, you didn't get anything ceremonious. All you got was a 45-year-old man offering you a key to not a house in your name, not a car in your name, but apartment to share. And also offer you a chance to have a baby out of wedlock, be a baby mama, a single baby mama, because you won't be married. And live the rest of your life, with a child trying to live bi-coastal while he's probably gallivanting with other women while you're away. So can we just all just have a hand clap for Joy? Because this was the moment she's been waiting for, obviously. This is what it all boiled down to be. She got exactly what she wanted. Congratulations, you pathetic woman. Congrats. Congrats, sis. You
Boy,
got
Jeremy's
Jeremy,
raw dog, boy. I tell you.
tell us how you really feel, Jeremy.
I'm like, y'all, I am disgusted. I was literally in bed, like watching this scene, and I was like,
Oh my
I really
goodness.
hate that I'm gonna have to do this to her. Cause last episode, I like that she was yoking, Sabrina up verbally because Sabrina definitely needed her wig tugged. But you know what I'm saying, at this episode, all I could think was
Yeah.
like, I really hate to have to do this to her because at this point, she left me no choice. It was
Yeah.
like she just went above
I
and
was I was
beyond to be nasty.
I thought so too, and I mean, and like I said, I've been a fan of hers. So guys, don't come for me. And I know
She
we all have. Listen, we all have good and bad parts of our personality, and some things that trigger us. And I'm gonna be posting an IG live to my channel that where Joy takes a stab at explaining some of these things that happened tonight. So you guys look for that because it's in her own words, and unless we get her on the channel, but these are in her own words, the reasons why she explains why she did some of the things. But I thought they were unnecessary because
Yeah.
even if you don't like Dakia has held herself very upright this whole season. But I don't know. I think a lot of that kind of goes back to when things got off track. I think with Eric, I feel like Carmen and Carmen and Joy specifically as the women in the group really really galvanized around Eric with that whole thing. And whether you believe him or believe her or think it's right or think it's wrong, I just don't think that you need to mistreat somebody like that on the air in public. I don't think it's necessary. If you don't like them, then just don't be around them, but you don't have to embarrass her about the
Yeah.
connection that she had with your man, because they did have a connection, and you need to talk to your man about that.
And the kid says, listen, I have somebody now that I think is very special. Hopefully
Oh
we can,
yes, thank you.
yeah.
I
Hope
had that in my notes, and I got so much going on. Go ahead,
yeah.
talk about that
She
real
said she
quick.
has somebody very special now, and
Yeah,
hopefully they can go the distance and so forth. So she did cry on the show. I mean, she's a human being. She cried tonight,
she
a little
teared
bit.
up. You talking
She
about
teared up.
Takia?
Yeah,
Yeah,
the Kia. She teared up
she
tonight.
teared up because she's a
Um,
real person, and I
but-
think how Joy was treating her was kind of hurtful.
right. But hopefully her situation works out. And
Hmm.
when we have her on the air, she may want to speak more about it. But hopefully she's good. But like I said, this is the second time, and like from the beginning, I did like Clifton and Joy, all the way all throughout the season. But at the getaway, that's when my first disappointment in Clifton came, because he owed the Kia an explanation then, or before they even got there.
Hmm.
Not well into it. Then you tell her, because now you done laid in bed, you had your bags on the bed, you're in the pool, sitting in each other's lap, and all this other kind of stuff, and she got to look at this stuff, and yeah, she probably know, but she still owed a
I'm laughing.
conversation.
I'm laughing. I'm sorry, guys. I'm in the comment section
Mm.
now. And I'm just laughing at this with Roro for real, Ro, because that's like I said, that's how I feel. Don't you ever get down on one knee and hand me a ring box without a ring in it, or I'll slap you till you like it. I mean, for real. Don't even try it. Don't. No way. Don't even play about that. That's an unplayable move right there. Don't play. Don't play like that.
Oh my
But
goodness.
guys, Jeremy, are you going over and doing your review now? Can we send everybody over and raid your channel?
Yeah, I'll be doing a review in the next 10 to 15 minutes. I just need to get something situated before. So please just make your way over there. I'll be live. I'll be live after this.
Okay, let me hold on a second. Let me type it in for those of you who don't know. Jeremy Speaks has his own channel, and he is throwing down over there, and he got all the curtsy words for you. Okay.
And Jeremy, make sure you roll that blunt first, because I saw you on the last podcast.
Hey, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, I think the lights just went out. The power went out. A storm just hit in Michigan.
I don't know what you're talking